Welcome back then to Brand Hatch and the Leon Eurocup. And while you've been enjoying the football, the safety car has been out, and there's been quite a lot of changes up and down the order, Tom.
Yes, we saw the safety car come out to Dudukalo's massive accident at Paddock Hill bend on the beginning of that second lap. We see Oriola, the young 16-year-old, leading from Rossi, from Murray, from Carvalho, the poleman, dropped back to fourth. Men on the move is Webber, who lost the championship lead in the first race, came together with Nordstrom. He's up to 11th. Nordstrom from the back of the grid also is up to 14th. And we saw race one leader Daniel Welsh started 8th from the reverse grid, because winner of yesterday's race, he is now back down in 12th position. So struggling as he got railroaded around the back of the Grand Prix loop, as we see a big move there. But car number 1, Diego Puyo, making up another position. 7 out of 16, or...
Oh, and there's an absolute disaster, an enormous crash for car number 75. That is Carvalho. And my goodness me, Tom, we saw that begin to be turned, that car, and then it just flipped. Now, surely safety car will be back out again.
It's either be a safety car or a red flag. That was, I've never seen an accident like that. That was quite astonishing. Got turned into the inside wall as we see the safety car is out. That might turn to a red flag. That accident was absolutely massive. The reason I say it might be a red flag is because of damage to the circuit perimeter fencing or tyre wall. Let's hope that we can see who that was again and actually work out if they're okay or not. That car has vaulted into the spectator area, came out of Sheen curve, got spun around, and it is a red flag. Session is stopped. So I am correcting that. We'll try and pick up who that was for you just a second ago, but absolutely huge accident, David.
Well, Tom, I was absolutely convinced that that was Carvalho, and hopefully the replay will for sure let us know whether that was Carvalho. But what that car just absolutely, it got turned sideways. We saw that, and then it absolutely vaulted, Tom.
Yes, there was so much energy being dissipated in the accident, and we saw Carvalho, if that is Carvalho, he's out of the car. We see the course car coming onto the circuit, and we will look to see. We saw a few marshals running for cover, and we'll hope that none of the spectators or the marshals within that area were caught up in that accident. We see the driver is out of the car, but second big shunt there at the session. All the medical crews attending the accident, and that is what they are trained to do.
And there we can see, as you say, the marshals and the medical crews there, and it's something that...
As we see the cars under a red flag being brought through the assembly area from the Grand Prix loop, they'll
now we saw 74
come
Oriola
onto the grid there, and that's where they'll wait on the grid.
I was going on to say that, of course, the marshals and the medical teams at all the motorsport events, but here it is. Here is where it all goes wrong for car number 75. Now, the barrier took the impact, and then absolutely rolling like never before, Tom. Let's see it from a different angle here.
Yeah. I mean, look at the energy as the marshals are running for cover, and hopefully everybody, it looked like that's a bit of the safety, the banking there, the spectator banking was actually not too many people on there. They were further around towards Sheen curve, the apex of Sheen curve, which is where we saw the incident start. I couldn't quite see who's tagged Carvalho round, but that is our pole man for the start of this race. So he was dropping back. We saw him in a bit of trouble. We can see now that there'll be substantial damage there to the barriers as well.
Now, of course, it is crucial to mention, as I was going on to just before we see all the replays of that horrific accident, that marshals, medical crews, so many people enable us to enjoy our sport, and due credit to them for always being there for us.
Yes, they do an incredible job. They have a really high level of training. They train a lot and practice for these types of incidents, and motorsport is perceived as a dangerous sport, but it's immensely safe. Everything is undertaken in a very controlled environment, as we see a replay of Carvalho walking away, and it's really a testimony to the safe and we're just getting news now through that nobody is in fact hurt. So, well, there's no serious injuries, just maybe 1 or 2 walking wounded. Looked like Webber, but I could be wrong. It's very difficult to work out who he got into trouble with there. Look at the speed and the energy, quite incredible. Absolutely huge accident. I've never seen a crash that big. Very ambitious move by the car on the inside. Used a lot of that curve on the inside of Sheen, and he was pretty much on the grass. So you have to say quite an ambitious move on the inside of Carvalho by that white car. Yet to work out who it is.
I'm not unconvinced it wasn't Murray.
I think Murray was too far. I think Murray was too far ahead, though. I don't think it was Murray.
Okay. Neither of us have had the ability to see exactly who it was that tagged that car. But look at that, and that is where the car ended up. So it's gone over effectively the barrier, hasn't it, and into the secondary barrier that we see there, which protects.
It's great news that no one is actually hurt from the marshal side or the spectating side. That is the news that we are getting from the circuit, and they've quickly put that out. And that is a big sigh of relief, because I was holding my breath a little bit as we see the ambulance crews being stood down now, and they'll return back to their station. They're fixated around the circuit, so again, that is another really positive sign. And we'll see the course car and some of the stewards investigating and having a look at the tyre wall and the damage to it, if there is any, or the Armco or the perimeter fencing, and that is what will determine when we get back racing.
Because that's absolutely crucial. That has got to be exactly right.
See a replay of the start here. We see Carvalho get away very well, and Oriola, the young 16-year-old, moved to cover his position. The old Schumacher chop to defend into turn 1, did that very well.
He did do it very well. Textbook almost, wasn't it? And then down they go, and already we see just how close these cars race, and there was a great opportunity there for car number 16, despite taking to the grass. Di Diego trying to take advantage, and then he very nearly gets turned around as well.
Yes, as we see Dudukalo having to run wide through the Paddock Hill gravel, and unfortunately on the start of the second lap he was to find himself in the Paddock Will gravel as well.
Very much so, and doubtless we will see that again.
We thought that was a big accident, and it was, and then obviously Carvalho's accident, was substantial as well. So this is where Carvalho ran wide, because I was wondering how he became under pressure. This is still the first lap. As we see Dudukalo get spun around.
Now, as you say, there was impact there, right beneath one of our Eurosport cameras as Dudukalo goes in. Now, that was sort of rear quarter, wasn't it? Now, so there we're seeing the incident once again, but confirmation from race control that absolutely no injuries, and driver is absolutely safe. And when you see just how severe that crash was, thank goodness for that. Everybody all okay, including the driver. And whatever must have been going through his mind as he's literally flying through the air.
Andy Lyle at the front of the car there works for Brand Hatch, and the black. And we're going to go back to the football now.
Yes, so action to come then from the football, and we'll be back a little bit later with this race in full.